Welcome to another episode of Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy and Dino.
And sometimes Jared.
Down the Barrel Podcast is brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association
and wolf.report.
Turkey Talk.
Yeah, we're here with some brand new turkey hunters.
Yeah, they went out for the first time a few weeks ago.
Right, but we should introduce them. Let's tell their names.
So we've got Josh and Katie here with us today.
Josh and Katie. Thanks for joining us, guys. You drove all the way down from the big town in North Minnesota.
Yes, we did, and it's good to be here. I can't believe it took this long to get invited. I mean,
right? Well, you had to do something worthwhile to get invited, and you finally got yourself a turkey,
right? Well, we figured now we get you on turkey. Maybe later in the year we'll get you on some fish. Talk about
or maybe
some
a deer if you get someone with a bone on his head.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's just kind of the general rule here. If you invite yourself more than 10 times, we'll finally say yes.
That's all I suppose. That's how pathetic I am. I just keep asking over and over and over again.
All right. So before we get too carried away, why don't just kind of introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about, and yourself or even turkey, whatever you want.
Well, how about this? Josh, where are you originally from?
So I am from Grand Rapids area. Was born and raised here. And little side note, Dean dated my sister back in the day, and I actually still talk to him and still like him, so he can't be as bad as you guys say he is.
Exactly.
I actually...
oh, wait, that'll be edited, I'm sure.
No. This is how
we'll edit it to make it sound worse.
Right,
absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, born and raised around here, passionate outdoors guy. I fish and do a lot of bird hunting, grouse, woodcock, ducks, pheasant, deer, kind of run the gamut. But this was my first time ever turkey hunting. So as we get into that, I'm sure we'll discuss that more. But this was a kind of a dream to try and see if I liked it. And it was a blast. So
yeah. And on a side note from that, you were one of the first people, other than your sister, that I knew in Minnesota, and you got me into grouse hunting. Obviously, you shoot better than I do, but I
was like, you suck at grouse hunting.
Yeah, I do. Right? I do.
What's it been? 17 years now, and you're still looking for your first?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And, why do you think I quit inviting him?
Right?
He's got a couple tail feathers hanging on his wall. But.
Pretty much. And I hit that with my truck. Then we went out to Bader's a couple times. Yep. You guys got me into golfing, which I still suck at, so I just quit doing that. But so I've known you for a long time now.
Yeah, yep, for sure.
And he still talks to me, believe it or not.
Yeah. Hard to believe. So, and then spare time also. I volunteer with MDHA and chapter president of the Itasca chapter here in Grand Rapids. So, done that for quite a while. I was on the board of directors for the state office, and at one point in time, I actually did the job Dean does now at the state office, which I did way better than he did.
I was going to say, somebody had to take over and do it better.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Well, Josh, anytime you want to come back, just let me know.
Yeah, you can reshuffle, reorganize.
Right. We have not posted that position, but we will hire you.
Right. And that's it for the show today.
Sometimes he's got to go look for a job.
I was just going to say, sometimes Jared is never Jared.
Sometimes Jared is goodbye, Jared. Right?
See you later. Yeah. All right. So, Katie.
I heard a rumor you were from Canada.
That is true. However, I was born in Minnesota.
Thank God.
And moved to Canada when I was just little, grew up there, started working at a resort, and ended up, when I finished my career out there, I was guiding on Lake of the Woods for... I think I was a guide out there for about 5 years, and then I started guiding for another resort also on the Canadian side of Lake of the Woods, and did that for about 10 years.
Wow.
And then, I don't know, met this guy and somehow got drugged back over here.
So what you're saying is you're a much better fisherman than he is.
Oh, absolutely.
If you've seen the picture, she catches way
more
Right.
fish
And
and
more.
way bigger fish.
I
than
get
he
it now.
does.
Well, and
So
you may have. I just want to make sure I got the pronunciation of that word right. Did you say you got drugged back over here?
Drug? Is that
That's about the only way that
is
this
that
makes
Canadian?
sense to me.
well, I don't know. Now I kind of like this guy.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
You don't.
But,
I have to say one thing. I don't know why I stuck up for Dean, and then right away he throws me under the bus. So that's the last time.
I was wondering why you stuck up for him.
What did I do?
I could say a bunch of things you did.
So kind of like Josh, I grew up in the, in the outdoors and fishing and hunting. I was never into bird hunting, but with him, I've started to like bird hunting. He took me out for my first pheasant hunting, and I've gone for woodcock, and going to get my first one of those this summer for
That'd be cool.
my first woodcock. And then, this was also my first time turkey hunting.
Nice.
So
And what do you think? First impressions?
I loved it.
Right.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was addicting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fishing and
And you guys did shotgun season, right?
Yes.
You used shotguns. Okay.
yep.
Season A.
Season A. Next year I want to do archery so I can hunt the whole
There
season.
you go.
That's the way to
There
do
you
it.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it
So-
was fun.
Yeah. So you achieved the turkey hunt it was at a MDHA banquet, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay.
What, you don't have to ask for clarification.
We know what happened.
I was trying to
we
rub
need
very
tell this
sore
story.
subject.
Yeah.
They
No.
outbid DTB for that hunt.
I know.
We sure did. We
By a whole $5.
Right.
You guys,
Canadian.
you
I guess
guys,
$5 Canadian
you guys are
dollars.
cheap.
so like 50 cents American.
Either way, I was surprised when they announced the winner of that. It wasn't us.
I was half out of my seat.
I was too. I was like, "We got this, boys.
Yeah,
We're going on a
right.
turkey hunt."
I didn't even know what was happening. You guys were bidding. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we were just bidding with your name.
I know.
It doesn't surprise me.
Let's put
No,
Dean's
we
name.
had to.
After
The first year I went to the banquet, we had just been dating for a couple months, and then he asked if I wanted to come to the banquet. And after we left there, I said to him, I saw that turkey hunt. That would have been cool. We should have bid on that. And he had been thinking the exact same thing, but neither of us said it to each other because we were still fairly new
Yeah.
dating, so we didn't say anything. So then when last year came around, we're like, we are winning this turkey hunt this year. Well, we got distracted right at the very end because someone was talking to us, so we lost last year. So this year I was like, nope, we are all over this. We had my son Chase at the banquet with us, and I'm like, you tell us if anybody goes up there and writes. And we were standing up there by it as they were getting ready to pull the silent auction sheets, and Jared comes up and he's just chatting with us and blah blah blah, and I'm like, guys, we're gonna win this turkey hunt. And what does that? I don't even know what to
say asshole.
You can say
asshole.
I thought
What
you
does
was
he
going
do
down
but
the
grab
road,
the pen and outbid us by like $35?
No, I was there. We outbid you by $5,
No,
and Josh said it was too rich for
No.
his blood.
No.
It was like $35.
Was it 35?
Yeah.
Because we had been going back and forth. And you are right, though. That was the quote. That's a little too rich for my
Yeah,
blood.
Josh said that, so I'm like,
And
oh,
so
he's
they-
giving
I said that,
up.
I said it.
He's
We
giving
we
up.
went and
budget.
took our seats, and we were confident.
Yeah, okay,
Right?
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's us.
And then
So
these
as
assholes.
they're coming around picking up the sheets, I quickly grabbed the pen and
Yeah,
outbid you guys by $5.
Yeah. We call that the Canadian.
I was going to say the Canadian.
slide. I don't know.
double cross.
Yeah.
The Canadian backstab.
It was pretty brilliant.
It was pretty good.
It was.
I wasn't
I know
gonna
because
do it.
we were ready to jump out of our seats.
Yeah. I mean, I was.
I was
I think
so
you actually
excited.
did.
You
My
didn't
feet were
see
off
me
the
do
ground.
that.
I hate those guys.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Wow, at least somebody we knew got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And so, how was it? Where'd you go?
Yeah, that was southern Minnesota, right?
Yeah, we were down near Winona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful country down there.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous.
Wow, it was gorgeous down there. We spent some afternoons just kind of driving around after we were done hunting, checking it out because it was just absolutely beautiful. I loved it down there, and we stayed. I'll let Josh talk about who we stayed with because he knows them better.
Yeah.
So we did a little hunt down there in Winona, and guy's name is Perry. He's
Good
a
guy.
longtime
He's a very
MDHA
nice
member,
guy.
real dedicated. And I knew him from, when I worked at the state office, and I always liked the guy. But, when you get down to somebody's home, you really get to know him a little bit better.
Right.
And then you really saw what kind of a guy he was. I mean, he was up every morning with us at 4 a.m. to make sure we were, set and ready to go, and like offered his house to use the shower, and like took us out to the local tavern, and
Nice.
recommended restaurants, and it really opened up his whole house, to us, and made us feel real welcome, which, could have just been like, here's the camper, have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Offered his trout pond up, to fish trout, which we
We did catch one. Yeah, we
I
caught a
think we
few.
caught 5 or 6
Nice.
trout
Nice.
out of the pond, and so it was great. And like Katie said, the country is beautiful, and the whole thing was just how many days were we there? 5?
5.
Yeah, I think
Oh, really?
5.
Wow.
5
Yeah.
days ago.
And I was like, man, can we extend our vacation and stay a few more days? It was
we
great.
did not want to go home.
Yeah.
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 No, Perry really is he's a class act. After a recent Facebook comment, though, I'd have to
I was
say,
gonna say,
his
yeah.
kid Marshall, on the other hand,
Yeah.
God, he needs to go away.
Right.
No, I'm just
He
kidding.
needs to comment more.
Yeah, right. Marshall's a good guy too.
So you were there for 5 days.
Yep.
Did you see a lot of birds or hit and miss?
It was real hit and miss, and I think
Total, we saw 7.
yeah,
Okay.
I think we saw 7 birds total, and Perry was kind of shocked that the lack of birds that people were seeing, and he was calling his neighbors and like checking with them, and they weren't seeing birds either. But he was looking back the year before at a video that he took of his own hunt, and he had, what was it, 3 or 4 toms come in,
yeah.
and if you looked at the field, it was a beautiful green, and everything was lush, and it was A season again. But this spring was way behind what last spring was.
Yeah.
And he was kind of thinking it just, like, maybe in a matter of days. He's like, I mean, it could change in a day, And it just seemed like, even though A season's usually kind of the top season, he almost felt like it was a smidge early this year as far as, the weather was concerned. And
Yeah.
the birds just weren't, super active, or
Right.
hard to say, but
So what you're saying is when we win next year, we should maybe go a little bit later.
yeah, you should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So seven
Yeah, maybe we'll let you.
7 birds.
7 birds.
How many were toms?
3.
3.
3.
Okay.
Yep, 3.
All right.
But, there was one morning in particular that I think it was like day 3, and we were sitting in this blind, and as the crows started to call, the gobblers were going nuts. I mean, I'm sure we heard a couple hundred
100.
gobbles.
Oh, yeah.
Perry was like, probably 300, 400 gobbles. I didn't think it was that many, but maybe it was 100 or 200. But
It felt like the morning of 1,000 goals.
yeah. But
Isn't that the best, though?
It was awesome.
It was like,
Yeah.
that was so cool.
But where they went afterwards, I don't know. Like, they just kind of got to the ground, and maybe they already had hens with them, and so they, really didn't care what we had going on. But it was just the experience of, the sun's coming up, and the birds are chirping, and the gobblers were just going to town, and
Right.
I mean, it was definitely something, that's what I was hoping for.
Right. We don't get to experience it that much up here in northern Minnesota. At least I never did growing up here.
Yeah.
I mean, until we were down at your cabin this past week. I mean,
but
I walked
that,
outside.
that's
never
not northern Minnesota. It's central.
Central.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I totally get that, walking outside and hearing those gobbles.
Did you guys sit all day or just mainly kind of the morning and then take a little break and do the afternoon, evening, or?
Well, the first morning we just did till around 11.
Okay.
And then we kind of quit. And then same with the second morning. But then after that, I was like, we're going to run out of days. So I was like, I want to stay out. I want to catch one just wandering around,
Right.
or I want to go sit inside the wood line and just see if we hear them in there and try to get one to come up to us or whatever. And so the one day I put in 15 hours
Jeez.
Wow.
and saw
Dedication.
but when you're sitting there and it's beautiful out and you're laying under a tree and you can hear the cardinals, they were just like robins down there.
I would have been
They
asleep.
were and singing, and so I was just laying under the tree, falling asleep. Like
I've
it
been
was
watching
just
something
like
on my phone.
Yeah.
it was heavenly.
So, were you in ground blinds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
Except most of the time,
Most of
unless
the
we
time.
had gone out for a walk.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just sit under a tree and listen and stay there for an hour and see if we heard anything.
Where are you calling at all?
We were. We had a box call.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
He was pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah, he was pretty good.
I should have brought the box.
I see it with
Should've.
in my wrist. I was. You leave it there, and they get you every time. They call back.
Yep, they were calling back.
So you said box call.
They did.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what we were using because
And-
we had never, neither one of us had ever called before, so we wanted something that was fairly easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But now we've got the other ones.
Other
Yeah.
ones.
We got a mouth call and a
Pot call. With the slate.
yeah, yeah.
What's that weird thing you have?
So-
That thing is fun.
I don't even remember. We had a what's his name from NWTF. I'm sorry.
Clyde.
No, it was not Clyde.
Oh,
You talking about
Clyde
the
was the other
gobble
guy.
thing?
Yeah, the tube gobble.
Tube gobble.
Tube gobbler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is easy. I was walking around the field just.
That thing is
You
a
do this.
joke.
You know,
It's a joke, but it works.
if you want to see a joke, the other day, because F season's coming up, and Katie wasn't fortunate enough to get one, but anyway,
He's gonna get stabbed.
Really,
She's
well,
glaring
that
at
was
me.
really,
it's gonna come out.
Spoiler
sooner or
alert
later.
on that comment.
Spoiler
by the way.
alert.
Yeah.
But so I thought, okay, well, I want to get like an owl call so that when we go out for F season, I can. So I get this owl call and it shows up in the mail the other day, and I get it out and I start blowing it. I'm like, God damn, it sounds like a duck. Like, this is not an owl call. It sounds like a duck. So I get on YouTube, and I type in the name of the call and whatever, and then here's this dude from HS Strut or wherever he's from, and he's like, so this is how you blow the call, and he's like telling what you're supposed to enunciate and that you're not supposed to blow very hard, and no wonder I wasn't in band, because after about a half hour I threw the call across the room and I was like, I can't do this. I'll just stick with a crow. I can probably do that on my own.
And were you running decoys?
Yep.
What was your decoy setup?
We had a hen and a jake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
So, yeah, the day that I got mine, we were sitting in two different blinds, and I had the Jake out. You don't have to be sad.
I was going to say, for those who can't, because obviously we don't have video, but when he said that, the day I got mine, you should have seen Katie.
Yeah.
And it's almost an elbow drop.
Right.
So, yeah.
It was
true love,
pride and heartbreak.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kill you. I'm moving back to Canada.
Yeah. I'm no longer drugged. I'm going back.
He can't get rid of me that easy.
Right? All right.
So the day you got yours, you were about to say something?
Oh, I don't know. You interrupted me.
All right. Sorry.
Damn it.
Right?
Ruined the whole story, man.
So you got yours. So tell us about that day.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Your setup, what you were using.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it, but it's a two-way story. So I'll tell
It always
my
is.
version,
Yeah.
and then Katie can tell her version from the cheap seats what she saw.
There you go.
So it was interesting because that night it rained hard all night, like thunderstorms and like the whole 9 yards. Like barely slept because you're just in a strange place and the thunder's booming. You're in a camper, And we got up in the morning and it's still thunderstorming and it's whatever, and I'm like, I ain't getting out of 4:30 go sit in a thunderstorm, and so I text Perry and I said, is it even worth like going out in this,
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. Like the rain's great for, getting turkeys. He's like, we should definitely go. And I'm like, all right. So I get my stuff on, and Katie and I get in the truck and Perry came along with, to visit with Katie. And so
he was keeping me company.
Yeah. So they got set up in one blind and I got set up in another, probably about 300 yards away across this big field, kind of down a little draw. And each of us had a decoy out and we're sitting there. And as I'm sitting in the dark, all of a sudden the lightning just lighting up the sky and the thunder's going. And I'm like, I am the tallest object in the middle of this field in this ground blind with a gun with a metal barrel. Like, why am I even here? Like, this is.
So Josh lays down
in a fetal position.
Yeah. Right. So I curled up. But, what's funny is as soon as that rolled out, the rain was done, fog rolled in, and literally couple 300 yards away is where Katie was at, kind of up at the top of the hill, and I couldn't even see her blind. It was that thick of fog.
Wow.
But it was funny because when the fog was coming in, it stopped right in front of his blind. Like our half of the field wasn't covered in fog, but you could see the line of fog, and then he was just gone.
It was like out of a Stephen King movie.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So
Stephen King didn't make any movies.
No,
he wrote books.
Yeah.
Then Get him, Dean.
We're getting technical here.
So then, the fog lifted up and there was a few gobbles happening when, as soon as the crows started, we could hear a few gobbles. And, I thought, well, I'll give the old box call a try, and obviously, as just pointed out, it's my first season turkey hunting, so I'm not an expert caller, but I don't sound horrible either, so I hit the box call a few times and a little bit later I hit the box call a bit again, and all of a sudden I hear a gobble come from behind me, and I'm like, well, this isn't good because I didn't open up all my windows because it was raining. Like I've got my front window facing where my decoy is wide open, and the door's got a crack open in it because it didn't zip down all the way, and that's all I got open. So I'm sitting there for a while and I can't see anything, and I'm peeking out the door a little bit, see if I can see, and there's nothing happening, and so try to call again, and I hear another gobble, and I can tell it's closer, like I can tell it's behind me somewhere, but I don't really know. This is at like 6:35, 6:40 in the morning, so like it's
barely light.
Just barely light, and so I don't know, this plays out for like 15, 20 minutes. I had stopped calling and I kept trying to peek out the tent door, and I saw the gobbler, and I'm trying to figure out how far away he is because, you're in the middle of a field, there's not any landmarks. And the other problem is one eye was like kind of catching the corner of the door, and then one eye is looking at the gobbler because you have that break right like in between. And so it was hard to tell, like the depth perception was off, And then the next time I peek out, and mind you now, I'm on my knees trying to peek out this door. So I'm sitting on my knees trying to, hold myself and not get caught by the eyesight that turkeys are supposed to have. So I'm like peeking around this door, like as slow as I can. Every time I see the gobbler, I'm like, I gotta back up again because I'm worried that he's going to catch all this motion.
Yep.
Well, the next thing you know, a hen shows up. Well, she comes strutting right along and goes right where I want the tom to go, right past the door. And I'm like, come on, big fella, just follow that hen and, I'll have a nice shot right through the door. So I peek again to see what he's up to, and he's over there just puffed out, and he ain't moving. He's just standing where he's standing. And again, I can't quite tell where he's at. Well, now I'm worried that the hen is going to pick me off because she's like right kind of in front of me, So this is all going on, and this, this just scenario just keeps playing over and over and over again. And then, so finally I peek out the door, and the turkey's like humping the ground. He's like, he's going to town with the grass. And
Definitely Josh turkey.
yeah.
Right.
Well, then at that point, I notice another hen farther away, but up on the hill walking away from me. Well, now I'm nervous that if he decides to follow that one, he's gone. So as I peek around for like the 100th time through the door, he's facing that turkey, the hen that's far away. He's got his tail fanned out, everything, and I'm like, well, it's like now or never. Like I gotta pop out this door, and either he's close enough or he's not. Like I just gotta decide what to do. So I put the shotgun up to my shoulder and I sneak out the door. And as I sneak out the door, his head pops up. Boom! I shoot, and he just roll. I mean, he was down.
Nice.
Like, he didn't even flutter at the moment. Well, it turns out he was like 25, 30 yards the whole time. and literally, this was like a 45-minute to 50-minute ordeal. So when I finally got my old man knees to unlock from being down for that whole time, I got to go up there and put my hands on it, but
that's awesome.
That is cool.
It was just as exciting as any deer hunt I'd ever been on. The whole thing was just a whole lot of fun, and I'm definitely hooked, which I was almost hoping that I wouldn't, because now I got one more
Something
thing
else.
I got to do.
Totally.
So what kind of equipment did you have?
So we had actually intended to hunt the whole time in the same blind because neither of us had ever gone. And she's going to love this part. I had told her that she could have first crack at turkey.
Because it was my birthday.
Well, that's a good reason.
Not the day I shot the bird.
No,
that was the next day.
I was supposed to get the first one for a turkey.
We only brought one gun down because we were like, I hunt a ton, but I don't have, like, most of my shotguns are side-by-sides for, like, upland hunting. Like, they're nice looking. Some of them have silver, side plates on them. I'm thinking, well, turkeys, if the sun hits that silver side plate, is he going to see that? So we just brought the semi-auto down. I only have the one semi-auto, and Perry says, well, you guys are going to have to split up a little bit. Like first day we didn't see anything, and he's like, so you can borrow my 12 gauge Benelli. So that's what I shot the turkey with, was his 12 gauge, which I'd never shot his gun. I didn't pattern it or anything, you know? So, but it worked out fine. Mm-hmm. So
nice.
Yeah, it really was a blast. I mean, between kind of practicing calling up ahead of time and, patterning our shotguns. And, after we beat Jared out for the turkey hunt, we realized we didn't have like any of the gear. So $400 later, this turkey hunt turned into a little more of an expense. Right. Yeah.
It may have been me bidding, but it was under Dean's name. So you beat Dean.
All right. Fair enougfor
I guess I lost.
Yeah, we never bid under our own names.
Imagine that.
But for the other part of the story, I'd probably turn it over to Katie for a couple minutes, just so she can kind of tell how.
Right. Let us know how you did, Katie.
Yeah.
Wow. This was the most painful thing to watch in my entire life.
I understand. You were with Josh. I get it.
You're talking about the drive down, right?
Well, that was 6 hours. You drive somewhere with him for 6 hours. So we're out there, and like he said, it quit raining, and then the fog lifted, and I'm watching, and we had all our windows open so we could see out the sides and in front of us, what normal hunters do.
Typically.
Yeah, right? You prepare for them to come from any direction. They don't just show up in front of you all the time.
It's funny. He was talking about, the thunder and stuff. And I said he's laying down. Then all of a sudden he was on his knees. So he was.
He was hiding. Yeah, he was asleep. Yeah, he just doesn't want to tell us.
He was asleep.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah. So we're sitting there, and Perry's a chatter. He likes to talk. So that's okay, because so do I. So we're sitting there, and he was actually showing me pictures of elk hunting. So that was cool. And then I'm constantly looking out the windows, and I look over, and to the side of Josh is just coming out of the wood line. I was like, hey, Perry, there's one right there. And he's like, where? Because he's looking at his phone. So he gets up, he looks, oh, yeah. He's like, but I don't know if it's a tom or a hen. So we were watching it, and thinking it's going to walk in front of Josh up to his decoy, and it just went behind him. So we're watching it, and then we realize we can tell it's a tom, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Secretly, I'm like, I hope it sneaks around over to us.
Right.
I mean, I was hoping, but anyway. So then it's behind him, and we're like, he doesn't know it's there. I mean, he doesn't have his windows open. He's not going to know it's there. So we're calling it, trying to get it to come to us or in front of Josh. Then we hear it, finally it gobbles, and I'm like, okay, well, he had to have heard that. I'm like, so he's going to go out the door and shoot it. Yeah, so I get my phone. I'm like, I had the GoPro on. So I turned the GoPro on, and I'm like, I'm going to get it on video. And then I'm filming with my phone, too, just in case. And I put my phone down because it was like, well, he's taking too long. And I had to have taken 30 videos. I'm waiting for him to shoot this turkey. And we can tell that it's in range. I'm like, Josh,
what's wrong with him? Why is he not shooting this turkey? That's what we were saying.
We're like,
wake
what is
up.
he doing?
Is he sleeping?
I'm like, he's got to be sleeping. Why is he not shooting this turkey? Like, he has to know it's there. And Perry and I are just like, shoot it. And he wouldn't shoot it. I'm like, what is going on? Then a hen comes out, and I'm like, oh, great. Now he's going to follow the hen, because the hen went behind and crossed over to the other side of the field. And then another one comes out. And this one, though, this hen was walking up towards us. And I was like, oh, yeah, bring that tom with you. Come on. And then finally, after half an hour, I shut the GoPro off so I didn't kill the battery and put my phone down. And every couple minutes, I put it up in video thinking he's going to shoot it.
Right.
Fine.
So I think what we have to do next year is, if you guys win this again, we have to go live with Katie narrating Josh's hunt. Right? Because I want to hear this live.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is he doing? Here goes the head. He's going to screw this up.
They will never.
I was messaging you guys as this was going on.
You did.
Yeah.
I think you were.
But I think that's a great idea. But just know that they will never again win this. I will take out a second mortgage on my house if I have to.
It's okay. We were invited without having to bid on it.
I keep picturing. I keep picturing the Gator guy. Shoot it. I want to know what Katie sounds like.
Yes,
shoot him.
Right.
Shoot it.
She's like,
man,
what is he doing?
I'm like, what the heck?
There's about 20 videos that you can hear exactly what Katie said.
Well, I gotta interject here, because you said there were 2 stories to this hunt. There's actually 3, because I was also sitting in a ground blind. I mean, 200 miles away from at this point in time.
This is true.
And I'm hunting turkeys, and I not seeing anything all day. And then all of a sudden I get a picture from Katie of a blind across the field with a tom all strutted up. I mean, it looked like it was 10 yards from this blind.
Yeah.
And the text says, the dumbass doesn't know it's there. And I start laughing out loud. I haven't seen a sign of a turkey all day. I start laughing, and a hen takes off from my blind.
Actually, I've got the message right here.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good. From Katie. I can't wait to talk about this whole shit show on the show. Josh and his rookie move, not having any other windows open. This was a 45-minute ordeal waiting for him to shoot this turkey. So of course we go in. He was probably sleeping, and And I think at one point Josh had commented it was raining and I wanted to stay dry. So then Katie sends us a video. I think I'll just shoot the guy. And so yeah,
the turkey.
she didn't specify.
I think she meant you.
So yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
We were involved in the whole turkey hunt, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen a turkey all day, and then I laughed at that, and the hen took off.
That's awesome.
So then when Josh shot, you guys were all excited and ran out? Or?
Oh, wait a minute now. You need to clarify that after taking 400 videos,
Okay.
you missed the shot.
I had literally
And only got me coming out of the blind in celebration. Like, that's all she got.
And I can only imagine him
because I
walking out of the
finally was
blind through
like-
that little door.
It
was more like
I was finally
falling.
like, I give up. I give up. And I set my phone down and boom. I'm like, really? So then I start videoing again because I thought, oh, I'll get him coming out, and which I did. So
Yeah.
And then you got a video
Oh,
of
he
Josh
woke up.
crawling out of a blind, massaging his knees.
pretty much. But I was very, very happy for him and very, very proud of him.
Yeah,
For about
That's awesome.
10 seconds. And
And
then she was
then-
happy.
You know, you can have more than one feel. You can be proud and happy for somebody and also be sad at the same time.
Oh, or angry.
Or angry, I guess.
Right,
Hateful.
right. Jealous.
Hateful,
Yeah.
jealous.
I mean,
You can have all of those emotions.
I thought we were talking turkey hunting, not my wedding night.
oh, I don't know if we want to go there. But,
I hope your wife's not.
I doubt it.
She doesn't care what we talk about.
I mean, in true gentleman fashion, to defend myself, I tried to get her the first turkey. I let the thing wander around for 45 minutes.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Hoping it would come up to her. Like, I mean,
Go away, Bert. Shoot.
Yeah.
yeah, like,
Shoot.
go up to Katie. Go up to
Go
Katie.
to
I mean,
Katie.
finally, it's like, fine. You don't want to go up there? Fine.
Yeah, she's Canadian. She needs all the help she can get.
Yeah,
Go.
I mean,
Shoot.
she if her call didn't sound like a more of a not a
I suppose they tune them different in Canada.
Yeah,
Right,
they do.
right.
You hit that box call and it just go, Tim Hortons, Tim Hortons.
You're
Well,
that's
they
great.
drove here together, but they're going to be walking home
well, actually, we are
right.
driving home separate.
Yeah.
There's another reason for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm
Well,
surprised on
Congrats on the first turkey. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
thank
sounds
you.
Yeah,
like
man,
you're
I'm
super
actually
happy
jealous
for you.
too.
Yep,
Yeah.
me too. So, and then Katie, you're going to try for F season.
Yes,
correct?
we hunted hard for the rest of our trip, and we saw some more birds after we had a hen walk right. She was in front of us all for
them
I don't
damn
know, an
hens.
hour or
God.
so.
They are
She kept
everywhere.
walking around this field. And I thought,
Strutting
yeah,
her
come on,
stuff.
where's your boyfriend? Come
Yeah.
on, where is he? He never came out. But it was cool to watch her though. And then another day it had been raining all day again, and Perry said, you guys should really go out for the app. Like, just go out there because when they're going to come out into the fields. They come out into the fields to see better, so they can see prey stuff because they can't hear them.
Yep.
Right.
So we thought, all right, we'll go sit out there. So we were sitting out there, and of course, we had some toms come out, but they were 300 yards away.
No.
So, we tried calling them closer, but
Yeah.
they didn't
He didn't
come.
respond to Tim Hortons.
No.
I mean, 300 yards on a turkey, that's nothing for an American.
That's one hell of a choke tube right there.
Well, that's all right. It was.
And don't forget that one day we did where we got out of the blind and we kind of did a spot and stock or whatever you want to call it. And we got into the one spot that we thought the turkeys were hiding out in. And we're sitting there and I hit the box call and all of a sudden a hen calls back, or I assume it's a hen. It was doing the same noise, but I come to find out as I've done more reading that the toms will actually make that noise as well. I'm assuming it was a hen.
Yeah.
Anyway, we bantered back and forth like 2-3 times, and that was kind of cool. That she was answering back, but we didn't stay seated very long. We sat there about 20 minutes, and we moved a couple 100 yards, try again, you know. And, you know, after listening to your podcast, when you had the National Wild Turkey
Eugene
guy,
Crandall on.
yeah, when Eugene was on, learned actually quite a bit of stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
that was
we-
probably another hunter you were talking to.
Well, what I was thinking is, you know, I would have liked to have stayed. Should have probably stayed there longer.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, he was talking about how it took almost an hour for his to come in. Like, they know where you are. And we sat there like 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Well, nothing's coming. We better move. You know, and it's like, maybe we should have stayed longer, but I don't know.
Well, and I guarantee part of that is from TV, bone collector, you know, 20-minute sits. That's all
Yeah.
I do. Then I move, you know, 20 minutes. Then I move 20 minutes. Like,
They don't
So-
hunt in northern Minnesota.
and no, exactly.
Or in Minnesota, period.
Well, and it, you know, it depends time of day, everything.
Well, in turkey population,
Right.
you know, I mean, a lot of the times they're in Georgia where there's, you know, 50 turkeys per, you know, square mile or something like that. And it's like, doesn't matter. They're moving to them. So, well, that's pretty cool.
So basically, your trip down in southern Minnesota, Josh, you got a bird.
I did.
Katie did not get a bird.
Yes, we all know.
I just want to clarify. But you're going to go hunting again, but this time you're going hunting in northern Minnesota.
Yes.
Where it's much, much harder.
Much harder, yes.
So if you get a bird in northern Minnesota, Josh is
You
just
surpass
Josh just
Josh,
doesn't
right?
contact
Yeah, honestly,
anymore, right?
that's a gimme.
You know, I guess we never did ask. So, how big was the bird? I mean, long beard. I mean, you
It
know,
was
what?
probably about 50 pounds.
Did you eat
Oh,
it? Did you eat it?
14-inch triple beard.
Again, I thought we were
6-inch
talking
spurs.
turkey hunting, not my wedding night.
Oh, God.
No. So after doing some reading, because, you know, being new to this, I've done a lot of reading, and so after getting my turkey, I was like, oh, what does all this mean? You know, like how old was the bird? And I would imagine it was a 2-year-old. It had about a 9-inch beard, and the spurs were 7/8 of an inch, and from what I understand, 3/4 to an inch long spurs as a 2-year-old.
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be my assumption. I mean, it was a nice size
Nice
bird.
bird.
In fact, it's hard to believe how big they really are.
Right.
Yeah.
Until you put one over your shoulder, and it's like, holy crap, that's a big
Yeah.
bird.
So, are you getting it mounted? Are you mounting the fan? Or
Yeah, so
Drying out,
I got
yeah.
the fan
Cool.
drying out. I took the legs off, so I
Yep.
got the spurs. I got the beard. I got the shell that I shot it with, so I'm going to incorporate the beard into that. And
Yeah.
a little plaque, and then I got Ryan Kirby, who did a
Yep.
MDHA print of the year one time. He actually makes these. Essentially a poster, and it talks all about the eastern wild turkey, and then it's got a spot where you can put a picture of your own, and
Okay.
then it's got a spot where you put in the length of the spurs, length of the beard, the weight, etc. And so I got that framed up to kind of go with it. You know, just
awesome.
since, you know,
Yeah.
being the first one,
You have
kind
to
of
do
make
it. You
a
have to do
production
it.
out of it.
Yeah,
Well, that's
you know?
pretty cool.
I mean, if Katie would have got one, we probably would have just put it in the garage somewhere if I hadn't got one. But since I got one,
Yeah.
we'll make a big
He's got
production
to
out of it.
make a big thing about it.
Well,
I got to do this. Can you pick up this? Or can you add this to the order, the grocery order, blah, blah. I'm like, what do you need that for? He's like, turkey project. I'm like, oh, yeah, just because you got one.
Well, see, all about now you have to get yours is going to be so much bigger.
Mine's just going to be so much better because I got it
it's
close to
true.
home.
Well, no, the Minnesota bird is way harder
We
to
got
get than
permission
southern
from
Minnesota bird.
a landowner not too far from where we live, and they're farmers, and apparently their turkeys are all
That's
over,
crazy.
and they're
Because what do you guys, northern Beltrami?
cooch.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in
Cooch.
Cooch. That's
Yep.
Cooch over there, huh?
Yeah.
North Home, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, okay.
Cool.
But it will be, I think it's Beltrami where we're going.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically,
So,
northern Minnesota.
Northern Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently
Nice.
we're going to go check it out, and hopefully we'll see some when we check it out so we kind of know where to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But-
a tough one. It's going to be a lot tougher than down in Winona, I'm imagining.
Either way, your hunt will be better than Josh's.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. The guy was barely awake.
It's not going to take
Wait till I hit that owl call that first morning. It's going to be epic.
You're a fan from the owl call.
Like,
We're just going to let Mother Nature
We'll have
do its
mallards
thing.
flying,
Right.
but you wouldn't.
Well, on top of your guys's,
Man.
Jared was hunting at the same time, like you said.
Yeah, he didn't get anything
He didn't-
either.
not that time.
Not that weekend.
Not that time.
okay.
But I think the
was
next
gonna
weekend
shoot
you
a
did get
squirrel.
one.
I sent you a picture.
He sent me a picture.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I'll shoot this guy.
Yeah, it was a big squirrel.
There are some
I mean,
big
that's
squirrels
like a
down
Pope
there.
and Young squirrel.
Yeah, I would say if there is a Pope and Young, some of those squirrels
should've
would be
just-
Pope and Young.
Right?
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it was the weekend after, right? It was like the
I
start
think
of
so.
bee season. But I
Which
was
we have
archery.
posted a picture of your turkey.
We have.
Right. And I'm fortunate. I don't have another perspective to dispute anything I say with my story.
Yeah,
So,
you can make stuff
I
up.
just
Nobody
make
was
this
there,
up.
Right.
Right.
Right?
We do have a GoPro, though.
We do.
We do have it on
Yeah,
video,
we
honestly.
did. We filmed the whole hunt. So that should be coming out sometime in the near future.
We have a few versions of it.
a few versions.
We have your version, but we also have a few other versions I haven't showed you guys yet.
I can't wait to see it. But yeah, so I did film it, which was fun. But yeah, I think it was start of bee season that I was out there.
27th,
27.
according to our messages.
There you
There
go.
you go.
But you were archery hunting.
I was archery. Yep. And yeah, it was an interesting hunt. Kind of somewhat similar to yours in that there was rain and
And that you didn't get one?
no, I did
Are
get
you
one.
talking about his hunt?
Oh, you got one.
She's kind of slow. You have to
I'm talking
slow
about
down.
you two as a single
Oh,
hunt.
okay.
Yeah. But no, I was at a board meeting over in Hinckley and we have super boring. It's fine. None of the board members listen to this, right? You got cricket sounds. So I made it to the cabin, got in bed at, I think I checked my phone. It was like 1:30, got out in the blind at 5:30 and it was raining pretty steadily, like rain dripping through the blind, everything. And I was starting to get bummed out, like, God, are they going to come out? I don't know. And so I started Googling, what do turkeys do in the rain? Like anyone who's bored and not hearing anything. Right. And I get all these search results that are like, in the rain, turkeys either go to open fields so that they can rely on their eyesight or they congregate in the deep brush. It's like, so nobody knows. Right.
Right.
But anyways, I stuck with it for an entire hour because at 6:28, because I had my GoPro filming, and so I know 6:28, the rain just stopped, and immediately I heard this like thud right behind my blind, and then a gobble.
Oh,
I mean, like 8 feet behind my blind. And so I was like, oh my God. And like this gobble goes off, and then a Jake full speed just sprints across my blind. And I was like, well, was that the gobble I heard? I don't know. But then a minute later, 2 toms came out right behind that Jake, and I shot one.
Yeah, you did. You did.
What's with all these
I
new
have-
sound effects?
That
I
was
have
kind
to
of cool.
know.
We're moving up in the world,
How
man.
long was the beard on yours?
So I actually had to get out my meter stick.
Oh, had you
no.
measured in centimeters? It was that little?
Did you measure in
Yeah.
centimeters, eh?
You betcha.
No, mine was also a 2-year-old bird.
Oh.
It had about 1-inch spurs, just under 1-inch spurs, 9.5-inch beard.
So I was
That
hoping
depends where
yours
you
was.
measure it.
That's 12 timbits.
I was hoping yours was going to be bigger than his.
No, it was about the same size. But it was, it's a great bird,
yeah.
and like Josh was saying, until you go up and you put your hands on that thing, like you don't realize how big these birds can get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
It was a lot of
you,
fun.
he didn't go very far.
No, I shot him. He ran he tumbled and got up and ran maybe 15 yards.
Yeah.
And then he died.
And what were you shooting him with for broadhead wise?
I was using the hypodermics by
Okay.
Rage.
Rage.
Just
Yeah.
straight up raw hypodermic.
Rage hypodermics. Yep.
Did the trick.
Yep.
Sweet.
I need the archery.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, to get one with a shotgun, hard enough. To get one with archery is even. I want to get one with my bow.
Me too.
Yeah. I do archery in the spring, and then in the fall, I don't really care, because it's Tom, Jake, hen, whatever
That's
you
what I was
want
going
to
to say.
shoot.
So in the fall,
all
it's,
season
it's
long.
anything, right? Of course,
Yeah.
in the spring, you can still get a Jake.
You can get anything.
In the spring?
Not a hen.
Sorry. In the spring, yes,
Yeah.
you can get a Jake.
A Jake.
Yep.
Okay.
In the fall, you can get whatever you want.
Gotcha.
So I'll usually go out, do a couple sits with my bow, and then I do have a turkey gun. But yeah, fall is all about meat. Spring to me is about those early morning gobbles that just like send shivers down your spine. Like it's so much fun. I love that.
So we went out last weekend.
We did. We did not get a turkey.
Right.
Oh, good.
We saw a lot of turkeys.
Glad you mentioned that right away.
We did see a lot of turkeys.
Because I was going to build up.
Right.
We
and
did
then
not
disappoint people.
Oh, we did see a lot. I remember, but
You're going to build up and then
I remember
disappoint people.
stepping
Once again, are we
outside.
talking turkey hunting or Dean's wedding night?
No, your wedding
That
night.
was sheer disappointment
Your wedding night.
and regret.
For you. But no, we went down to the cabin and we sat in, I swear it was a sauna.
It was
AKA ground blinds.
It was hot.
Yeah,
It was so hot.
extremely hot. We saw first thing that came in was a hen just strutting around.
That
showing her-
hen lived
yeah.
there. She was there
Oh,
constantly.
man. Yep. I wish it was fall. I would have stuck her right to the tree.
Gladly.
So she was around a little bit, but I don't think we saw anything else that night, did we? Did the Jakes? No, they didn't come in.
Jake's didn't come till the next day, but
So the next day we got up. I wake up to Jimmy standing over me. We gotta go. It's like, dude, it's just okay. Yeah, let's light out. All right, let's go. So I moved my dog off of me.
Your dog? You,
River.
You
Yeah.
get my dog's name out of your goddamn mouth. I will
she did
slap
sleep
you.
with Dean all night.
She loved me because I'm fat and
Cuddly.
soft
Yeah.
and very warm. But anyways, yeah.
And I'm just too muscular.
Yeah.
Nobody ever said that. So we get up, and right as soon as we get out of the cabin,
It's just gobbling.
everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we gotta go. So we had to walk a long.
It's a hike out there. It's a long haul out to the
Was
blind.
it 20 feet?
No, it's a haul.
Yeah,
It's a haul,
yeah,
but
it was a good 15 yards.
It's an easy.
Okay.
Come on. Let's be serious.
Okay, 22 and a half.
It's like 2 miles.
yeah, through the brush. We had to cross a river.
There's my
Both
technology.
ways,
You guys know
swamps,
that's a lot.
bog.
Uphill. Yeah.
Either way, we finally we get there.
Honestly, they
We're
both
sweating.
took their segways out to the blind.
So anyway, we get there.
We get there.
We're settled in.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
This is gorgeous.
We can hear him snoring.
Yep. And we hear gobbles.
Behind us, there's gobbles everywhere.
Yep. So then I was like, okay, do we do a little call? So we do a little call. You know, a little,
Right.
Tim Hortons.
right? And a little bit more gobbles. Like, sweet. This is going to be it. This is going to be easy. He got his at 6:30, 6:28.
Yeah, I was out there at 5:30. I got it at 6:31.
Yeah. So we were out there about 5:30.
Yeah.
And 6 o'clock rolls around. I was like, okay, where the hell are these damn turkeys at? I hear them everywhere.
Right.
Lo and behold,
All of a sudden.
little Miss Muffet comes walking through.
Right.
It's like, really? Just strutting her stuff? It's like, oh, you're so annoying because
I think she actually lives in that.
I think she does because she's like 10 yards from us. And it's like,
He just wants to get
can't
back
move.
inside.
I
Right?
swear that she lives in that blind
Yeah.
because she's always there.
Yeah. And then a few minutes go by, and all of a sudden, there's a Jake. It's like, good God, where the hell did he come from?
I know, but he came with a big hen too,
Yep. And then another hen.
right?
It's
Which
like-
you think is maybe a Jake
I
without
thought
a
it was,
beard
I
kind of
actually
thing?
thought it was a younger Jake because it
was
had
a
a
big
little
bird.
bit more
It was bigger
red
than a
on
Jake.
it. Yeah. I think it was a Jake, just hadn't grown his beard yet.
I didn't know that
You know?
existed.
Well, it's more of a, we're going to be nice.
That hen may have identified as Jake, is all we're saying. We don't know,
Right. But this
But
Jake.
you didn't tell me that until afterwards.
Right.
Otherwise, that thing might have got
Yeah,
a.
this Jake, the
little
first
rage.
Jake only had maybe inch and a half beard.
Yeah.
You know, he was good bodied, but it's like,
I
yeah,
was waiting for that Tom.
we were. It was like our first
We've had
turkey.
so many on camera.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We
many
had.
Toms.
And we did the day after we left, too. So
Right.
There was 4 of them
Of
that
course.
came through.
Yeah,
So you guys actually had a shot opportunity.
We did.
if
With
we
a
did.
Jake.
Okay.
We did.
Oh, they had
Jake.
plenty on a couple Jakes.
Okay.
We only had, well,
It might have been the same one. But
No, well,
through a
Jake
couple
was there a
times, right?
long time. We
Yeah.
could have shot him easy.
Oh, man.
And then the other one, Dean says it might identify it as Jake.
It definitely identifies as Jake. It had
He
the red
thought it
beard.
identified as a Jake.
Yeah.
It was a big hen. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So our first morning in Winona, I'm talking to Perry, and he says, "You see a Jake, roll it."
Really?
And I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." He says, "You've never shot a turkey before."
Right.
He's like, "That thing's got a beard. Shoot it."
Really?
And I said, "All right, sounds good to me." So I go up to Katie and I says, "Hey, honey, if you see a Jake, Perry says roll it." "Oh no, I ain't doing that.
Right.
I'm shooting a big Tom." About 3 days in, she goes, "You know, Jake comes by, I'm probably going to shoot it." And I was like, well, 2 days ago, you didn't have that same
Right,
impression.
yeah.
So anyway, I was just curious. As to
From
if
now
you guys
on out,
actually
if
could
I
have.
see a Jake, it's dead.
So you
Well,
could-
and we got spoiled because we've seen the camera pictures, and it's
Right.
like
Right.
there's
Coming
another
through.
3 or 4 big
They're
toms.
Another 4.
They're
big
coming in
toms.
2, 3 at a time.
Yeah.
So,
Except when we're there.
right. So it's
Right.
like, God, we don't want to just waste it on a little Jake.
Right.
I mean, yes, it's our first bird, but it's like, I'd rather have it be a big one.
Right. We're
If at all
professionals
possible.
Well,
here.
Right.
See, that's the mistake I made elk hunting, right? My very first elk was a
Llama.
It was a llama.
It was a damn cow.
Yeah, it was
Slow elk.
It was a certified Red Angus cow right off at Dean Jacobs Family Ranch. But no, my
That's the
first
most
elk
expensive
was
elk
like
you've ever shot.
my first elk is probably the best elk I will ever shoot in my life.
Probably
You
the
know,
only elk, honestly.
right.
Yeah.
You know, like a mature 6x6. Like I don't know if I will ever have an opportunity on a bigger elk than that. You know,
Yeah.
What was that? Canada? You talking shit about me?
I'm pretty sure.
Say it into the mic. Say it into the
I
mic.
didn't think Jared hunted.
Yeah.
That's the rumors I hear.
There
He's
are-
never shot a rifle
there are
before.
I will say he is a killer. He is a killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
try.
elk's a little bit different. Where turkey, we have a little bit more opportunity.
Correct.
So that's
Correct.
why it's like, you know what? Let's just wait. We have a lot of season left.
Right.
So a few more opportunities, which is the joy of archery.
Right.
So
Right.
we have those opportunities. So that was our turkey hunt. Hey, you know what? We didn't get one either. And
No.
Yeah, but a lot of hens and
there's 2
jakes,
of
right?
us. A lot of hens
We
and
did
jakes.
see.
We didn't see a single tom.
We saw probably 5, 6, 7 birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Not
About the
one
same
tom.
as you guys,
And a couple
yeah.
good rabbits. I mean, the rabbits were.
They were great. And deer.
And
we
some
did.
deer.
Yes.
Yeah, don't
The
want
deer
to-
busted us.
Talk about the coyote.
Oh, yeah.
Why? You're the one who didn't shoot it.
It wasn't close enough.
You had a 12 gauge.
Well, actually, we didn't that day. So it was the day after I think I shot mine. So we were sitting in maybe 2 days. Doesn't matter.
Was the
We were sitting in this
first day.
different blind and sitting together. So we had the 20 gauge. And anyway, I had hit the call and we had the decoy out in front of us and it hit the call a couple times. And all of a sudden, see this motion coming over the top of this ridge, you know, and kind of catches my eye. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go, a turkey, you know. And I look over and I'm like, oh, it's a coyote. And this thing, I mean, if you'd had a rifle, you'd have had multiple opportunities to roll this thing. Like he'd come a little ways and he'd stop, you know. I mean, at the closest, he was probably, I don't know, 70 yards maybe, something
Oh, wow.
like that. But he was coming towards that decoy. And then he got to a point where the wind was kind of coming across and he must have got a little bit of our scent. And he turned and went into the woods. But it was cool to see. But I had texted Perry and I said, do you care if I shoot a coyote? Because there's one coming up, you know, because I'm like, if he comes up close enough, you know, I want to shoot this thing. And he was like, yeah, like roll,
Yeah.
you know, they don't like them.
So what you're saying is next year when we go to Winona turkey hunting, we need to bring a rifle or something to get a coyote.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, I'm going to have a bow, so 70 yards, dead coyote.
Right.
I
Not the way you
I would
shoot.
have thrown my pocket knife at that range.
I would have tried with a 12 gauge just to pepper his ass.
Right.
Get out of here, you damn coyote. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
But anyways, we've all been turkey hunting.
Yes,
so far
We've all had fun, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And somehow
I'm talking specifically to the 3 losers here. Have you had fun? I'm sorry, you're not losers.
Jared,
You're
Jared
out.
and I had great hunts, but how do you guys?
Yeah.
No, you guys are getting outside. You're having a blast, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And first time turkey hunting for all of us,
Absolutely. 100%.
which is very cool.
You too?
Not for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
You,
Okay.
well, for all of us.
Everybody,
But for you guys.
everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to say the word, but the losers.
Yeah.
No, he meant from the northern Minnesota people.
Yeah.
And Canadian people.
I've always wanted a turkey hunt. Can't say never. Didn't have the
You're from
opportunity.
Kansas. How could you not have the opportunity?
I didn't
Right?
hunt a
You
whole
have
lot back home.
12-foot tall turkeys down there.
Yeah.
I have
They're like
seen-
ostriches in Kansas.
he was ranching.
Yeah.
I was ranching. Yeah, he was
I
ranching.
never
right.
took the opportunity.
Loser.
But that's how it is. So I was excited to turkey hunt, and I can't wait to go again.
No, I'm going this week, whether Jared says I can use his cabin or not.
No,
We're just taking a trip.
when we were there, I told you where the keys were hidden.
Dude,
I told you
we'd-
where.
I'm just going to go visit your grandparents and be like, hey,
Right? I told you everything, and that's
They'll
so that
probably
you can
feed you,
use it
too.
whenever you want.
Grandparents, they
Yeah.
love to feed people.
They do.
Right.
They
Go
do.
visit and you'll get
Well,
fed
and
by
yeah.
them.
River
If
is
you-
just going to love
if you go
me
down
like
there.
crazy.
River is the love of my life.
I think if you go down there,
And-
Dean, Jared's grandfather will give you that dog.
You know, I do have that rapport with the family.
You do. We,
Yep.
we
And the
did
dog
meet him.
loves me. I mean, there's no denying it.
Hey, you take my dog, I take your wife. All right.
She would probably give him up.
Yeah, she probably would.
She's like, okay.
Really grab
She
them.
definitely would. That's for sure. You know, what do you do?
Either way, so we're saying
But no.
us 3, we still have to do the little turkey hunt.
Yes.
You're
Yep.
still doing. You're planning some.
Yeah.
We're not really planning some, but I'd love to.
We're working on it.
You can come with me. We'll just leave him at home.
Okay.
There you go.
I am a great caller, and proof is in the pudding.
Oh.
As a fan's hanging on my wall.
Tim
I don't
Hortons.
know.
But you know, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead with the.
I don't know.
Go ahead with the losers.
So I think it was. I think it was when it was 105
It was
degrees out,
1,000 degrees,
and it was towards the end of the evening. We're like,
pouring water
yeah,
on the
it's like,
rocks. to
this
get some
is
steam in there.
this is bullshit. We're done. So Jimmy pulls out the call. He goes, "Let me see that thing." So he goes. And then we actually had a freaking return call.
Oh yeah, that's the only return we got was that turkey was like, well, that's creative.
And it's like, are you kidding me?
That's
We
my
haven't.
secret call.
Yeah, it's like we haven't seen or heard anything in like an hour, and it's like, yeah, we're going to be done. So he's just screwing around. It's like,
These guys know the passcode.
Right? Yeah.
damn.
These guys are ready to party.
So we waited a little bit longer. It's like, okay, we'll see a little bit longer. It's like, no, that damn turkey's across the river. We're done. We're out. So yeah, I thought that was funny. So you want to talk about expert calling?
No.
Get this
Boom.
guy.
Well, I will say, so the blind is not, what'd you say, 2 miles from the cabin?
Yeah.
I'd like to say it's 2 miles. From the cabin.
I know. But let's be honest.
I
here.
was
I could
winded.
see it from the window.
Yeah.
Let's
And,
be honest. Is
and I'm sitting
Still
there.
a long walk.
Right. But I am tagged out at this point. So these two are out in the blind, roasting their asses off.
sweating to death.
And I wanted so badly to have that tube gobbler with me so that I could just crack a window and mess with you guys. But I didn't have it because I think you have it still.
No, I gave it back to you.
You gave it back to me?
Yeah, I think it's
Must have
your
been in the
truck.
back of the truck or
Probably in
something.
the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Because I just had my box call that I've
Yeah.
had forever that I just keep in the truck and just, I don't know.
I don't know.
mess
You were
with
making
people.
some sounds on that box call I wasn't sure about, but I didn't know any better. So
They sounded pretty damn good.
I know, but that thing you did at the end is like a.
Oh yeah, the thing at the end, I was just,
I don't know if that was legit.
my brain was fried. This is your brain on turkey hunting in 90-degree weather.
All right.
It was pretty hot.
Oh my
And it's
gosh,
gonna
it was
be
so hot.
during F season too. So
I think
it's
so,
gonna
too.
be
Yeah.
a couple hours.
That's the
in
reason why they call it
morning
F
and-
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
for the flunkies.
Right. After this season.
Hey, Jared, you and I, we don't have to.
We
do
don't
the
have to worry
flunky
about it.
season.
Hey, you want to go fishing during F season?
let's do
Because
that.
F stands for fishing season for
Yeah.
successful
Oh.
hunters.
That's right. Let's do that.
Right. We'll let these three.
So we never did. So obviously you've got the fan, and the beard and
I
the
do.
feet.
I do.
So you're going to mount everything up.
Well, I'll keep the fan for sure.
Yeah.
The beard. Yeah, we pretty much anything we take at the cabin, we want to honor as much of it as we can.
Yeah.
And we have, they're just
So there's nothing there.
There really isn't.
go back to Canada.
Couple
Katie.
squirrels.
You got to speak your language. You got to end it in A or something.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. No, so we any turkey we've taken off there, we've got the fans up, which they weren't up when we were there because we just painted and did the floors and stuff. But so the fan will go up, the beard will go with it. I do have the legs of the spurs, but it's a 2-year-old bird. I don't know if we'll end up doing anything with those other than maybe a gun rack.
Yep.
'Cause they make those cool ones where it looks like the turkey's flipping you off, and you can hang your Henry on it.
Right. So a few weeks ago,
Did your voice just crack?
yeah,
It did.
I
He
should have.
Hubert,
That
you
was
should have taken a break,
that
dude.
was so cute.
Yeah, it just finally reached, once I hit 40. I watched a video on YouTube the other day where this guy had these little glass bottles, and he must turkey hunt all over the country. But he would take their gizzards, cut them open, wash them, get rid of the nonsense, rewash them and stuff, and then put them in the glass jars of what they ate. So what was really cool about this guy is he had turkeys from Florida, Georgia, Colorado, and so he would always have, what obviously the Florida turkey would have seashells and other stuff in his gizzard.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Colorado, totally different stones than what you would find in Missouri or Georgia and whatnot. So that was really, if you could travel around, it'd be kind of cool. But even in different parts of the state, it'd be kind of neat because your turkeys right on the river basin there would be really neat. Winona, still somewhat river basin, but in the hills and everything, it'd be a totally different turkey compared to what they would have in their gizzard at Northholm.
Right.
Yeah.
So something to think about future, is pull those gizzards, cut them open, and take the stuff out, wash it, and everything like that. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I like that idea.
So I don't know how many people do that.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of people they do that, and then they've got these little vials full of corn. Right? Probably.
I don't. Well, it's possible.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that, though.
No.
Well, not that they're feeding the turkeys; they're just in ag land.
Correct.
Right. That's what I meant.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what Josh and Katie meant too.
It is interesting. Like you were talking, river basin maybe, but like as we were hunting, we're up on top of these bluffs, and we didn't even realize it because we're taking the truck part way there. It's a couple mile drive or whatever it is to get up there, and we get up to the top of this hill, and almost like a little mini mountain.
It really was.
And here's these like nice fields and like rolling, and he's got some old corn and whatnot. But then when you walk up to the edge, you look down, and we could see Perry's house way down at the bottom of this big hill. Like it's so cool how it's like almost mountainous, but then when you get up to the top, it's like this agricultural. It was really weird.
That Winona area
has some topography for sure.
Oh man, it's
an interesting
beautiful.
place.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. I always enjoy getting down there.
Man, for deer though, if turkeys were deer, we would have seen thousands. I mean, there were deer everywhere.
Really?
I mean, it was incredible.
Nice.
Yeah.
On a side note, did you ever get to meet up with Steve at all?
We texted him, and he had some availability, but I think it was the day we did the 15-hour tour trying to get Katie a bird,
Way to go, Katie.
Like I ran back, got her a sandwich, came back out to the blind. She's like, how come you didn't take a nap? I was like, I'm dedicated to getting you a turkey.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't want me to come back and say, I stayed out and he went in.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That's the only reason he stayed out. Because I'm like, no, you go back and I'm fine. It's nice out. I'm quite content to sit here.
Yeah.
But he couldn't handle that. I was hunting harder than him.
I mean, I haven't known Josh that long, but that adds up.
Right. And I know that you guys were talking about Steve, right? So he's a painter.
Yep.
Yeah, Michael
So I'm
seat.
thinking if he did Josh's scene, it'd be from the front. I mean, because all the windows are closed in the back. So Josh is sitting there just staring intently out the window. Probably got like a nutty bar or something he's opening, or I don't know what it is.
Snickers.
And behind him, there's this
Snickers.
giant Tom. I mean,
One of those Kansas
That's a
12
great
foot
painting.
Yeah.
Right?
Godzilla turkey. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you're curled up in the fetal position in a ground blind after a thunderstorm, there's a lot of night crawlers in the middle of a farm field.
Hence the trout fishing that they do.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, trout fishing sounds fun too.
Right.
No, that's cool. Sound like you guys had a good time.
Right. You got a turkey.
Yep.
You got some
That's what we
trouts. Sounds like you had a good time together, just hanging out
Yeah.
in the non-hunting hours.
Yeah, we went to over to La Crosse in Wisconsin there and had dinner at a restaurant that Perry had recommended, and
My cousin.
I think we went like 3-4 different places. We had brought the Blackstone down, a cooler with
all of our healthy
all our
stuff.
meals planned out,
Yeah.
healthy. So we're trying to lose some weight and whatever, so we don't look like Dean. And
Don't look at me. Do not look at me.
and I
Let's
don't
look
even
at Jared.
want to
Yeah,
say
you
look
got
at
dirty.
Ooh, that's a long one.
That was awesome.
I think I hit it.
Yeah. Here, I'll block the button. You go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
We were eating healthy, so we don't look like these.
Yeah.
But so we planned all this like healthy eating and whatever, and granted a few days were raining and we're like screw it. But after getting up at 4 a.m. and hunting and whatnot, we're just like, you know what, let's just go out to eat.
I'm so hungry.
And it was fun because that's when you kind of start to see different parts of the town,
Right.
And,
Yep.
try
Meet
some
some
different thing, meet
Right.
some people, and
Yep.
That's what me and you did, right, Dean? We were trying to be really healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. 'cause,
We had light beer.
according to Josh, I look healthy.
According to Josh, I don't think it was healthy. He was calling you, but
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of eating, how do you process the bird? Did you breast it? Keep it
did you
whole?
eat it?
so we breasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we ate half of it. The first week we were home.
Yep.
And so we cut it into strips, and kind of made like chicken strips out of it.
Nice.
But I think the next time we'll probably try something different. What was that one gal had a really
air
good
fried
recipe?
it. And I think it would have been better if we had actually deep fried it instead
Well,
of
yeah.
air frying it.
Anyone who tells you air frying is as good as deep frying is lying to you.
I mean, I really like air frying.
I do
stuff
too.
sometimes.
So if you could shut up, that'd be great.
But a friend of mine was just telling us just last week or something a recipe she has for it, and I can't remember now what. It was something in the crock pot, and it sounded really good. So I
Yeah.
think we're going to try that with the other half.
Yeah.
So you're saying
There
that
you go.
turkey was disgusting? Is that what we're
No,
saying
it
here?
was good. We
It was
just wanted
good?
to try different things and
Yeah.
see how we like it.
All right, I was just curious.
I have heard that it is wild turkey's a lot different than just your regular turkey and how to cook
That's-
it
Well,
from a few different people.
I want to
but
hear from
I don't know.
Josh because I know
Yeah.
Josh eats a lot of grouse. Okay, Josh.
He eats
Okay,
a
we
lot.
got some grouse. You shoot 1 or 2 a year,
Get back at you.
and then you have turkey. Well, what's it like? Tell me the difference.
you know what? Everybody kept telling me that turkey, I was going to see this really dark meat. Like everybody was telling me it's a dark meat. It's a dark meat.
Yeah.
Which is fine because like woodcock, if you've ever shot one
Yep.
of those, he
No.
never has. They're a real dark meat.
Right.
But I like it.
They're like bats with feathers.
Yeah. So, but the turkey, I peel those feathers back and it was just white, just
Yeah.
like a grouse,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
was like, well, what the hell? I thought it was supposed to be dark meat, which the
Yeah.
legs were.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I would say it was right there with grouse.
Really?
I think if you'd have cut that up and put it in a crock pot with cream of chicken soup or something.
So if you
yeah.
hide the flavor a
Grouse,
little
I
bit, it tastes decent.
everything tastes better when you mix it.
Well, especially
Wrap
put
some
wild
bacon
rice
on
and some
it.
salmon.
Wild turkey
Yeah.
is great.
I know you can
It's
take a
great.
grouse and you can eat it all by itself, and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Can you do that with
Yes.
wild
Yeah.
turkey?
I think so.
I'm asking you because
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm fat. Is that-
Well, no, because I know you like grouse. Obviously, you're upland hunter. I'm an upland hunter. I've never had turkey. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's great.
Jared
It was
doesn't
good.
share his. I've never got a wild
You
turkey.
are about to eat it.
Tonight? Are you
no,
cooking dinner
not
tonight?
Not tonight, but we're going to do the cooking episode
He says this
soon.
every episode.
Oh.
I'm going to cook for you. I'm
We
going to
are,
make some really good stuff for you guys.
Come over to my house.
I was there today.
Yeah, but Dean wasn't.
I
Dean
can only
wasn't.
eat if Dean's there.
Well, I want an unbiased opinion.
Well, then
Yeah,
we
'cause you're
need,
biased because you don't like anything.
You guys can
we
come.
need to invite
But here's the thing. There's going to be some twists and turns to this.
Yeah, it could be a freaking
Like
Right.
this might be
Llama
like
tongue or something.
like a
Is Ice going to show up?
no.
Well, you never
Well,
know.
if you come, maybe.
Well, maybe.
I say you never know.
I mean,
But like you could
God,
be
I wish I
eating
had a good
like
song for that.
like curried bass intestines, right? Like I'm gonna make some weird stuff for these two to eat. So if you want to be involved, I mean that's not.
we'd
on the menu.
appreciate it if you
It's
guys
not on
would
the
join
menu.
us, actually, so we don't have to eat all whatever you just said.
But no, I want to do like normal stuff. Like we'll probably do, like I'll do some beef, some chicken, some fish from like some crappie or whatever. But I want to also
I can
get
catch those for you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Don't ask
You're gonna go back to Canada to do that?
Is that fish?
The only place she can catch fish.
She haven't found those Merkin fish, right?
That was not a sound effect. That was a real slap.
Yeah, he actually got slapped the head.
But no, I
If
also
he does not
Wait,
survive
hold on.
our fishing
But
trip tomorrow,
If you could
I
do
will
that again
not
for
eat.
sound effect issue, that'd be great.
slap him one more time. We got to make sure we get the audio right.
Right? That way I can record it.
Yeah.
But no, I also want to
Only
do
for
like
editing
some,
purposes.
like some cow tongue, like some turkey heart. Some not run of the mill items.
Yeah.
Is your name actually Jared Ranella or something? Like,
No,
what's all
That's
this
kind of what
stuff?
we're going for, though.
Yeah.
He is our Ranella. He keeps saying he is.
I do.
Jared the
I
meat
never
eater.
once said that, but I do watch all those videos.
Yeah.
I
It's
want
pretty cool.
I want to try some stuff like that. So
Yeah,
if you could,
We've got
we'll make it happen.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah. Speaking of saunas, though,
Yeah, it's like a sauna in here.
It is.
The
I was
studio is a
thinking,
sauna.
look at
Open the
the
door.
ice is
I know.
all
I
it
know.
even evaporated.
yeah,
But I think we've pretty well covered everything. Josh and
so.
Jared are turkey killers.
turkey
yeah, we
champions.
are.
For now,
Champions.
the season's not over yet, guys.
Champions.
Okay,
That's
so
also champions.
Josh,
Season's not
Josh
over.
fell out of his blind and accidentally killed one. He didn't even know it was there, according to Katie.
He was like, "It's too hot in here. I need to get out." Oh shit! Oh. Hey, that bird rolled.
Right?
And then Katie messaged, "Oh my God, he got it!"
Yeah, I think she mentions, thank God he got it.
Jared
That-
found one
that
on
way
the
you don't
road
have to listen
somewhere.
to
found
him
one
cry
on the
every
road.
night.
According to Fitch, that's what you did anyway.
Yeah, fuck you, Marshall.
Yeah,
I'm just hopeful to hit one too. Pretty much.
I mean, I was grateful to see some out of a blind, even
Yes.
though they. Now that I know, though, next time we go, Jake walks out dead.
Well, either that or the so-called Jake. That's some bitch
It needs-
identified as a Jake.
It needs to have a beard. All right,
That's what I
Unless you
told
wait till
him.
the fall.
Right.
But it did have a bump there.
It
Yeah.
did. And the color was just like the Jake. It just wasn't.
Tumors are not beards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got
Okay.
a disability. How do we know?
Right. We're going to be nice.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There could be circumstances. Okay.
Right.
Right. There could also be
I mean, especially when
incisions.
when Dean's shooting.
It's got
okay?
a bump. Hey,
Dude, there was a bump there.
there was a definite bump.
There was a bump. I didn't say anything until you said, "Hey, yeah, that might have
Yeah,
been a
it's
Jake."
got the same coloring and a bump.
It was bigger than that.
It
Jake.
was, yeah.
You
Once
know,
again, are we talking turkey hunting or your wedding nights?
I wanted to shoot
I
that
think
thing
there was
so
a bump.
bad. Dude, I can't.
There might have been a bump.
I can't remember my wedding name. You know how long ago that was?
I'm not even sure that, like, turkey hunting the first time, there was like this peacefulness to it. There
Oh, yeah.
was like this kind of slowing down of everything. Like when you're upland hunting, like I hunt over dogs, so it's like you're going, like you're keeping up to the dog.
Yeah,
and you're
right.
moving, you're moving, you're moving, you're moving. And turkey hunting was nice because you could sit there and listen to the birds, and you're kind of in tune to
Fall
everything that's going
asleep.
on. But I don't know if turkey hunting would have been the same hunting with these two huckleberries.
No.
I have a feeling
It would have been way cooler, dude.
Way
Trust
cooler.
me.
No,
bro.
I think it would have been a whole different. I don't know if I'd ever turkey hunt again. I don't know.
Josh, I can
Probably
guarantee.
why they didn't see any Toms.
I can guarantee you. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I can guarantee
Second
you.
time.
I can guarantee you that if they had been there the day I got my turkey,
Oh, God.
I wouldn't have gotten a turkey.
No.
Well, yeah,
believe it.
because we don't attract the toms like he does.
Yeah.
Right. Only thing that comes out when we're there is the hens.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's
And
about.
she just hangs out.
She
And
did
the-
not
and
want
the
to leave. She's
tumor
like,
birds.
these guys smell so
And then
good.
the half birds, we don't know.
The ones that identify as other
Yeah.
birds.
Well,
Yeah.
all I can say for you three is keep trying, keep your spirits up.
Look at this.
Patience
I love
is the
it.
key.
Hey,
Shut it off.
no, you stop. This is an inspirational message right now
inspirational.
from an American
For all
citizen.
for all young first-time hunters, or
You too can fall out of a blind and kill a bird.
Tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll.
Keep your barrel up.
Oreos in the pocket.
Semi-auto.
Yeah, keep your Oreos
And keep
in the
shooting.
pocket.
Josh shoots a bird. This is how he does it.
One time.
One time, he
Yeah.
falls out of the.
He's just like,
out of
it
the
wasn't a
turkey
Canadian
blind.
goose.
I gotta go home.
All right. Well, hey, we thank you guys for coming down.
Right.
You
All
know,
the way
appreciate
from northern or Cooch, wherever it was.
Yeah, wherever. I mean,
Nearly Canada.
South of Canada.
Nearly South Canada. Cooch. I love Cooch.
Hey, this could be our first international guest.
No, we already had one.
No, it's not. We had one. I lied.
And he was Canadian.
He
was
was.
Canadian.
That's true.
Yeah, we gave him
Second.
significantly less shit. But
Well, he was really
how do you give like a wolf hunting guide shit?
Right.
right.
He'd probably kill you.
He might kill you.
Probably would.
actually.
He
I
probably
don't
would.
think Katie's gonna kill me, but
What?
as soon as we
But the wolf, I will say the wolf hunting guide we had on here was Canadian, so he was really nice.
he's super nice.
He was super nice. He did.
They're always
Nice.
really nice.
Katie's less nice.
Well, she's half American.
Oh,
That's
that's
what
where
it
she
is.
gets it from.
Yeah, that's it.
The other dude, he was full blooded.
Full blooded
Canadian.
Full blooded. Like I'm gonna be your best
Super
friend.
nice.
Katie's like, hey, I would love to be your friend, but if you say something I don't like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm gonna stab you. I was like, okay,
You gotta try living with it.
all right. So you are part American. I get it. All right. I guess I ain't getting no Timbits.
You know what? Next time I go, I'm going to get you guys Timbits.
I want Timbits.
Yeah, please do.
Like a big. I used to get them like every time I went to Boundary Waters. I drove by a Tim Hortons. Used to, and it was so great. I'd stop there every time, get coffee and Timbits.
Okay. I'm not Canadian, so what's Timbits?
What?
Yeah, dude, I don't even know what
She
you're
hasn't
talking about.
told you what Timbits.
I don't know either, bro.
Time out.
Dude, you would
How
love
are you the
Timbits.
only
You
one who
would
Well, I'm
love
sure I
doesn't
would.
know?
That's
I don't
probably why
know.
she won't tell
They're
me.
basically donut holes.
I don't know what tidbits are. Oh, Jesus.
You've been hiding this from
They're
me.
so good.
Here comes our
If
first
you bring
fight.
him Timbits, I
Live
guarantee
on
you he'll get you a
Don't
turkey,
barrel the first fight.
or he'll
God,
help you get a turkey.
I wish
Over
we had
Timbits.
I wish we had a music thing for fighting because that would be so. We need the Rocky thing going on.
We need the Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
music.
Kombat.
Hold on,
Finish him.
hold on.
Finish him.
The Rocky thing
Yeah,
Rocky.
Rocky.
I've the tiger.
by Survivor. You're gonna minimize that to fucking
Rocky thing?
That is a song on its own, and it's a great goddamn song. Whether it's playing on the Rocky
Yeah,
soundtrack,
Rocky.
You're
All right.
fired.
I apologize. I am live right now. I apologize to every band member and every fan, past, current, present, of Survivor,
Right, all of us. Because
for what Dean just said. Because that
Rocky
is not
thing.
the Rocky song.
did he say Rocky thong?
He said he didn't say Rocky thong. He said the Rocky song.
Rocky song.
But God damn it, that drives me crazy. It's a great song. It is a
great
perfect song for
It is.
Rocky.
Right,
Right.
for
But it's
Rocky.
not the Rocky song.
Rocky song.
I think he hit a sour spot, Dean.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Looks could kill.
And he's not
Dean
even.
would be
kill.
dead
He's.
right now.
I mean, which is funny because he's younger than you are.
Yeah.
Right.
And Rocky
Because he
came
doesn't
out
know who
before
Rocky
you.
is, honestly.
He probably doesn't.
Rocky Balboa by Sylvester Stallone.
Wow, he does.
Are you fucking? I grew up on Rocky.
Joe did good.
Hold on.
Joe did good.
I went to a hockey camp when I was growing up.
The Jared Missouri story.
Where I went to a hockey camp growing up, and at the end of every session of this camp, he would ask a Rocky trivia question, and if you got it right, you got a Mountain Dew. I got every single question right.
Give me an example of one of those questions. I want to see one of those questions.
I'm going to ask you.
I have a very important question.
I'm going to ask you the very first question, but let's hear it.
Oh, Canada has a question.
Oh, Canada. Here we go.
I wish I had that.
Oh my God.
What?
Rocky Balboa? Is this a real question?
No, it's
I mean,
Okay.
tidbits is one
God.
thing, right? Tidbits is one thing.
Timbits is one thing. Rocky's
Right.
a completely
Rocky is a
other,
whole
right?
Why
Another
would they asking
thing.
Rocky
I was
questions at a
kidding.
hockey camp?
Because this guy
I want to hear one
knows
of those
how
questions.
goddamn inspirational Rocky
Okay.
Okay,
There
let's
we
see.
go.
Right?
I want to hear
All
one of those questions
Yeah.
she asked you.
I want to know.
Jared's like 3.
There's what, 4 of you? So if
Close
He can
enough.
count.
whoever,
Do you need to use your fingers?
I
for
do need to
that?
use my
Okay,
fingers.
yeah.
I went through the American school system, so I need fingers and toes to
Mound.
count to 4. But no, if any of you get this right, I will buy you a beverage of your choice. It could be even Tim Hortons.
Wow. We're going to Tim Hortons.
We're talking Rocky 1, the original.
Okay.
Okay.
Who? And you can't all answer. So,
Okay.
like, raise your hand when you think you know the
Oh,
answer.
raise your hand. We're going Canadian style.
Was the first opponent we ever see Rocky fight.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
First
It's not a
opponent.
hard
Okay,
question.
Apollo Creed.
I said raise your goddamn hand. Okay, Jim raised his hand.
Apollo Creed.
Wrong.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's Apollo.
That's the opening scene.
Yeah, geez.
So you can't get a turkey or win trivia, I guess.
What you got
Hey,
there,
well,
Salzi?
Canada's Googling
Yeah,
here.
Canada's
What do you
Googling.
call Canadian
What
Google?
did you
It says
say?
Apollo
What do you
Creed
call
on here.
Canadian
Yes,
Google?
I think Jared's wrong.
No, I am not
Canada,
wrong.
Google
I am not
shit.
wrong.
Rocky's first opponent in the first Rocky was Apollo Creed. The
I
fight
s-
was
I
highly
s-
an-
Spider.
Hey, don't say it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said, who is
Oh.
the first opponent you ever see Rocky fight? And now we're cheating because you're all on fucking Google.
Dude,
I'm
it
not-
does say
I'm
first
not-
official
I'm not.
is Apollo.
Spider-
The
Rico.
first official when he
It's
is
Apollo
a professional. No, the first. I said, who is the first opponent you ever see Rocky fight? Go ahead,
Was it
Josh. Now that you
Spider
Googled it.
Rico?
Spider goddamn Rico.
But
I don't have
the
an
thing is,
example.
He makes it
says
30 seconds into
Rocky
the
He
franchise.
looked at
also
mine.
fought Spider Rico in a local fight in the first movie.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's
See,
the
because I
first-
thought the whole story
it's the
was
opening
Apollo,
scene. He's
and then he
fighting-
came back the next video and it's all Apollo.
which that is the
Storyline.
climax of the movie,
Storyline,
right?
yeah.
But the
Climax.
first opponent, he's in like some local fucking arena, and he's fighting Spider goddamn Rico.
Okay. And did you get it right?
Yeah, I did, and I got
No
a,
way you
I
got
got a
it
Mountain
right.
Dew. I was
No
the only
way.
one. I was the only one. My
If
friend,
you got that right, I will say, Joe, you did a great job, but because it wasn't up to you.
Way to go, Papa Joe.
Way to go,
I did
Papa
get
Joe.
it right. My friend Colin was in that same camp, and he said Apollo Creed.
Yeah, screw Colin.
Colin's
And he was
dumbass.
wrong. Colin is dumbass. And I said, it's Spider Rico. And he went, the coach was surprised. And he said,
Right,
that's the
especially
first time. That's the first time someone's
C
got
team.
that right.
If you ever wonder what it would be like to be, 50 years ago, hanging out at a hardware store, having coffee with a bunch of guys just talking about a bunch of crap, come down to Down the Barrel, right? Do a podcast
Yeah, we got
on
it.
turkey, and you'll
Right.
talk about all sorts of weird crap.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Apollo
Definitely,
Creed.
dude.
No, it's Spider. What
It's
the-
Spider Rico.
It's not what kind of call do you use. It's what the hell was that guy
Yeah.
fighter from
Right.
Rocky called?
You're right.
Meat eater ain't got
We
nothing
don't. You're
on
not
us.
going to learn anything here.
There's
Until
no,
Jared starts cooking for us.
there's no meat eater
right.
trivia. It's just trivia.
Just trivia.
Right. Hey.
All right. Well, hey,
Every one of you needs to go home tonight. Or if you're already home, turn on Rocky 1, the original.
check out the first scene.
Dude, I'm
Spider
watching that
Rico.
tonight.
Spider Rico.
And if I don't see Spider Rico, I'm going to come knock on your door.
But on top
if you
of
don't
that,
see Spider Rico, you can come kill me because you're going to see
I wasn't
Spider
going to kill
Rico.
you. Jeez, you don't have to jump so crazy. I
wow,
was going to be like, hey, dude,
we
you're
have
wrong.
taken a
All right.
turn.
Josh,
But no.
Katie, so happy for your first turkey hunt.
Yes.
And
Good luck in F season.
F season, when are you guys getting married?
Whoa.
Ooh.
Ooh.
August 2nd.
Wow.
No shit. That's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
All depends if she's a turkey.
But seriously, August 2nd, was that
August
legit?
2nd, yes.
Oh,
That
wow.
is
I was just
awesome.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, that's
Thanks for letting us know.
August is just
If
great
you
month.
would like
Great month.
let
There's
us be
nothing
friends
going
on
on in
Facebook,
August.
you would
Great
know
month.
about that.
let's see.
don't really
So
do that.
August 2nd. So the invite must have got lost, huh?
The invites haven't gone out yet.
Oh, okay. Good recovery. Good
Yeah.
recovery.
Apparently, I need to be friends with them on Facebook.
You
but I
would
don't
have seen
do
that we got engaged on Christmas Day. If you
Right.
would've gone
I
to
saw
Facebook.
Maybe I did see that. Maybe
I-
where those questions came from, but I didn't.
I knew they were engaged.
Did I know that?
I would assume that you would
I
know
might
that.
have.
I think you did. You just didn't realize it.
All right. Well, where's the wedding?
At our house in North Home.
Am I the ring bearer, and do I need pants?
Actually, I was hoping you'd marry us.
Ooh,
Like a
dude.
thruple?
You can do that nowadays,
You can.
especially in North Home.
No, you want me to be the minister person?
Officiator.
I got it.
I did that
Officiate.
once.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
I did that with your
I'll make
sister.
something up.
Oh God.
Really?
this could
With
be
your
the
sister
most
Matt when they
important
did
wedding
that, when
ever.
they redid their stuff.
Oh yeah, you're the officiant.
Yeah, when they renewed their vows.
Yeah, Dean
I was
did that
their
one.
officiant.
Josh said we should have Dean be our photographer.
No, you have to be your officiant.
Josh Turkey Killer, do you take Katie Turkey Virgin to be your lawful
Even though she still looks at turkey hunting.
You take the raspy old hen.
Do you take that? I don't know if it's a jig or not. There might be
It's
a bump.
Canadian,
I just
whatever.
want
it
you
is.
to review those videos she made that time you were hunting.
Right? How many words?
Right.
All right. What did she say about you?
What kind of cuss words do Canadians say? Eh?
Darn.
Hey, this gosh darn dumb.
Frickin'.
This gosh darn friggin' dumb.
Is he going to shoot that freaking bird?
Yeah,
or is he going to
God.
just sitting there like a bad guy?
Thanks, guys, for coming.
All right.
Thanks for
was a lot of
having us,
fun.
guys.
God
Yeah,
bless
appreciate it.
Canada.
Safe travels home.
Thank
Yes.
Thank you.
Till the next time.
you.
Maybe we'll have more stories.
Maple syrup next
And
time.
good
There you
luck.
And
go.
tidbits.
And
And
tidbits.
Timbit. You bring Tim. Oh my God. I
There you
could go for some Timbit.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association has been building our hunting and conservation legacy over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and wolf.report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.